Hello, everyone, and welcome to our pitch. So we're about to introduce you today to our pitch commissioned by Richemont. I am Sibylle Dupont, and this is my partner and friend, Flore Loiseau. We are two students from IOGS.
As the reputation of great jewelry houses is based on the high quality of their material, the appearance of those materials is very important. So in this context, Richemont asked us to analyze solid gold so that we could determine whether the roughness influenced the color.
So we received from Richemont 9 samples of gold plates, solid gold plates, which were organized by types of gold and roughness. Thus, we had to analyze 3 samples of yellow gold, 3 samples of pink gold, and 3 samples of white gold, among which each time one was specular, one was moderately enriched, and one was highly enriched.
So to answer the problem, we studied the samples on an optical bench where the light source was focused and directed by an optical fiber. And then the reflected light was collected by a spectrophotometer and analyzed thanks to a spectra suite. And then the obtained data were analyzed with the software MATLAB. So each sample gave a different type, a different profile of reflected light. So for example, the specular samples gave a point spot of reflected light, whereas the ridged one gave a spread stain of reflected light.
So we acquired about 300 different spectra. We had several parameters to modify one at a time. So the incident angle, the reflected angle, the direction of the stripes, either vertical or horizontal, and this for the 6 ridged samples. So the huge database we gathered had then to be analyzed, and we decided to analyze the data in 3 different ways. The first one was to display the reflectance of a set sample, direction, and incident angle, thus with changing the reflected angle. The second analysis we did was to display the reflectance for a given wavelength for a set sample. And then it was to display the samples in the LAB chromaticity diagram. And this was the best way to clearly see the difference of color. Therefore, we are going to develop the latter method.
So in a nutshell, the CIE LAB is a color space defined by the International Organization of Illuminate. And it represents all the gamut of human perception, and it is calculated related to a reference rate
Okay, so here you have the points of the 2 ridged yellow samples, so A2 and A3. They were illuminated at the same incident angle of 30 degrees. And we plotted the points in the LAB graph in 2D. So what we can conclude about this is the following. For a given sample, the points are really spread. And from one sample to another, we can't clearly see that they follow a particular rule. Thus, the roughness does influence the color of gold plates at a precise level, although when seeing the samples, the difference of color isn't that obvious.
So thank you for your attention.